What if this month is the one that shifts your story? Not just another calendar page, not just a change in weather, but a divine invitation. Because April isn't ordinary. It's a spiritual turning point, a season marked by movement. Heaven is declaring, now is the time. You can sense it, can't you? The atmosphere feels different. What was once buried is beginning to stir. What felt silent is now echoing with possibility. April is not random. It's a doorway. A divine moment where God begins to unveil what He's been preparing beneath the surface. And the question isn't, will He move? The question is, will you recognize it when He does? Isaiah 43:19 speaks directly to this. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? God isn't asking for permission. He's asking for your awareness. And that's where we begin. With the understanding that this month holds weight. April is a time of spiritual alignment, a chance to shake off discouragement, lift your eyes, and lean into what God is unfolding. He's not revisiting the past. He's rewriting the future. And it's beginning now. Maybe you've come through a season of disappointment. Maybe you've waited on promises that felt delayed or forgotten. But I want to remind you, silence does not equal absence. Winter may have looked like nothing was happening, but God was working in the deep places. Psalm 126, verse 5 says, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy." Your tears were not wasted. They were watering the ground. The roots have taken hold. Now it's time for fruit. This is your month to lean in and trust that God's timing is never random. It's always redemptive. And the same God who walked you through the valley is now leading you into victory. But don't overlook the way He moves. It may not be loud. It may not come in lightning bolts or shouts from heaven. It might come quietly, in a door you didn't expect to open, in a conversation that confirms what you've been praying for, in a peace that doesn't match your circumstance. Those are not coincidences, they're signals. Psalm 84:11 says, "No good thing will He withhold from those who walk uprightly." That includes you. There's a story in 2 Kings 4 that captures this perfectly. A widow, desperate and on the edge of ruin, has nothing but a house full of empty jars. Yet, when she follows the prophet's instruction to pour the little oil she has, every jar is filled. She goes from lack to overflow. But the miracle didn't happen when she wished for it. It happened when she moved in faith. That's the kind of obedience April is calling for. The kind that trusts before it sees. The kind that says, God, I may not feel ready, but I'll pour anyway. And in your pouring, the breakthrough begins. Romans 8:18 reminds us, the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. What's ahead is greater than what's behind. So don't sleep through this month. Don't live on autopilot. Wake up every day with purpose in your spirit and praise on your lips. This is not just April. It's your appointed time. Say it out loud with me. God, I'm ready. I see the shift. I step into everything you have for me. There's a shift happening. A stirring in the atmosphere that feels like something long hidden is being brought to light. April doesn't just arrive. It awakens. This is not just another month marked on a calendar. This is a divine season, a moment of unveiling, of breakthrough, of fresh grace rising like the morning sun. Maybe you've been walking through the cold winds of a spiritual winter. Maybe it's felt like the answers are buried too deep to find. But hear me, the pain of yesterday will not define your tomorrow, because God is doing something new. Isaiah 43:19 says, "Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? He's not asking if he can move. He's asking if your heart is awake enough to recognize it when he does. April is that divine threshold where what's been promised begins to take form, where what's been planted in tears begins to push through the soil. Psalm 126:5 declares, "Those who sow in tears shall reap in joy." Your tears were not in vain. They watered something, and now the roots run deep. The time is right. This isn't a month to drift. It's a month to rise, to pray differently, to walk differently, to expect differently, because God is peeling back the veil, revealing layer by layer the evidence of his faithfulness. It might be subtle, a conversation that brings unexpected peace, a door that cracks open where you thought it was sealed shut, a whisper of comfort that reaches you in the middle of your doubt. But it's him, moving, and he's calling you not to just wait for it, but to partner with it. In 2 Kings 4, we meet a widow at her breaking point. No money, no husband, no solution, just a house full of empty jars and a heart full of fear. But when she follows the prophet's instructions, something powerful happens. She starts pouring what little oil she has, and suddenly the oil flows, jar after jar. The oil never ran out until she ran out of space to receive it. You see, the miracle didn't start when she cried out. It started when she poured. And maybe that's where you are. Maybe you've been waiting for everything to align, for the pain to pass, for the provision to show up first. But in God's kingdom, faith comes before the overflow. The oil flows when you pour. Obedience is the door to abundance. James 2:17 reminds us, faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. And that's not a harsh statement. It's an invitation. A reminder that faith isn't just something you believe. It's something you move with. It's action, even if it's small, even if it's shaky. Because God never asks for perfection. He asks for availability. He's not looking for the biggest jar. He's looking for a willing heart. So ask yourself, where is God calling me to pour again? To pick up what I've put down? To believe again? Build again? Forgive again? It may feel like you have so little left, but little in God's hands becomes more than enough. Ephesians 3:20 says, "Now to him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us." The power is already within you. You don't have to wait for another sign. You just have to start pouring. God will meet your motion with multiplication. This month isn't about striving. It's about moving in faith. There's something waiting on the other side of your yes. Don't wait for the conditions to feel safe. Faith doesn't thrive in comfort. It grows in the stretch. April is your stretch. Speak it out loud. I will pour. I will trust. I will obey, even if it costs me my comfort because I believe my overflow is coming. And in that stretch, something shifts, not just around you, but within you. You begin to realize that what felt like delay was really preparation. What felt like silence was the sound of roots growing deeper. Because when God unveils something new, He doesn't just change your situation, He changes you in the process. Romans 8:18 reminds us, "The sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed in us." Notice, it doesn't say the glory that's revealed to us. It says the glory that's revealed in us. That means the greatest work God is doing right now may not be what's happening around you, but what's awakening inside of you. And sometimes we forget that. We want the breakthrough outside, but God is forming something sacred within. Strength, patience, discernment, surrender. A depth of trust that couldn't come any other way. You've been stretched, yes, but you haven't broken. That alone is proof that God has been sustaining you, even when it didn't feel like it, even in the valley, especially in the valley. Psalm 23 doesn't promise a life without valleys. It promises that you never walk them alone. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23:4. He's been with you through it all, through the questions you didn't have answers to, through the nights you cried too much to sleep, through the moments when your prayers felt like whispers lost in the wind. He never left. He never will. So if this is the month God is calling you into something new, don't be surprised if He also calls you to release something old. Sometimes the greatest barrier to new blessings is our attachment to old burdens, fear, shame, false identities, past versions of ourselves that no longer reflect who we're becoming in Christ. This is your season to let go. Let go of what you thought it had to look like. Let go of how long it's taken. Let go of the need to control every outcome. Isaiah 43:18-19 says, "Do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing." Friend, you can't embrace what's ahead while clinging to what's behind. God is not limited by your past. He's not intimidated by your weakness. He's not confused by your current circumstances. He sees the whole picture, the end from the beginning. And He's saying, "Trust me, follow me. I'm doing something you couldn't plan, but it's everything you've been praying for." And maybe you can feel it already, a holy tension, a stirring in your spirit, that sense that something's about to shift, even if you can't name it yet. Don't ignore that. Lean into it. This is where faith becomes more than a concept. It becomes your compass. It becomes the lens through which you interpret the unexpected. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin to ask, "Lord, what are you forming in me?" Because every closed door, every delay, every redirection might just be an act of divine mercy, steering you away from what was never meant to carry you in the first place. You're not being denied, you're being preserved. This is holy ground. So pause, breathe, listen closely. God is speaking, and not just to your situation, but to your identity, to your purpose, to the deep places that long to believe again, dream again, live again. And what He's saying is this: you're not who you were. You're who I'm calling you to become. You may still feel the echo of past seasons, but they no longer define you. God is doing a new thing, not just around you, but through you and within you. This April is not just another page on the calendar. It's an invitation to alignment, to stop surviving on yesterday's manna and start stepping into today's fresh grace. Isaiah 61 says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." This is your time to arise, not because everything is perfect, but because God's presence is with you in the imperfection. His glory doesn't wait for ideal conditions. It breaks through in spite of them. You may feel unqualified, unequipped, uncertain. But what if those are the exact conditions where God's power thrives? His strength is made perfect in weakness. His favor often finds us in places we least expect. And this month, He's saying, "Arise, step forward. I've already gone before you. You don't need all the answers. You just need yes. Say yes to walking by faith. Yes to letting go of what no longer serves the calling on your life. Yes to trusting that the same God who carried you through every past storm is the same God who is now setting the stage for your next breakthrough. There is more ahead than there ever was behind you. So let April be a turning point. Let it be the month where your prayers stretch deeper, your worship grows bolder, and your surrender becomes complete. Let it be the moment you stop asking if you're enough and start declaring that Christ in you is more than enough. Every single promise God has spoken still stands. His word never returns void. And though the enemy has tried to whisper doubt, delay, and discouragement into your heart, God's voice is louder. It's calling you forward, forward into purpose, forward into peace, forward into the kind of joy that isn't dependent on circumstances, but rooted in the unshakable goodness of God. So wake up each day with a declaration in your spirit. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice, I will rise, I will not miss what God is unveiling in this season. Let every morning in April begin with expectation, not anxiety. Let every step you take echo with bold faith. Let every breath you breathe be a reminder that if God gave you today, it's because He's not finished writing your story. And if the winds of uncertainty rise again, and they might, don't forget who commands the storm. Don't forget who walks on water. Don't forget who speaks to the waves, and they obey. He is your anchor. He is your guide. And He is the God of April, the God who restores, reveals, and rewards those who trust in Him. So press in, praise through, stay planted, and let the unveiling begin.